Starting to the top left of the map, we have our Axiom Terran player. This is
Axiom Young.
big shout out to TB and Jenna, their player today, participating here. And let's hope that he can do well. A lot of people cheering for him. He's up against the Zerg. To the bottom right, we have a Casper player. This is Samsung Khan's
Samsung Khan Shine.
And we talked about the skill level of these two players, but let's talk about the map a little bit, because the map in the up and downs often makes the game. Because even no matter how good you are, certain strategies just do not work as well on certain maps as other strategies. Third base for a Zerg on this map is so difficult and so far away, it just becomes problematic to hold it. You have to spread your creep way out there, and you're going to be always scared about drops. The Terran player can't take an easy third either, but the Terran player is more comfortable in a 2-base versus 2-base situation, especially when it has gold patches.
And, well, going into this matchup once again, for Ryung, as you said, it's a little bit hard to judge his skill and wings ability at this point. He has been playing a lot of Heart of the Swarm already, and his recent results, for example, in Code S, he lost against Zerg without taking a single map. He actually went 0-4 in his group, but the problem is he only lost against the same player, and Lucira is a very tough opponent, so I'm not quite sure if this is really... Yeah, I don't know, if that's really the best example, because Shine is a different opponent. And Shine is also a player who doesn't have this much experience. We have him with only like 5 games against Terran. Yes, he won against Fantasy, but besides that, he didn't do too much in Starcraft 2 just yet. What's important though is just to note how they ended up here. We are in the up and downs now, which means that both of these players lost in Code A. And whereas we have Ryung with a loss against Flash, who is now already in Code S, we have Shine, who lost against Squirrel. So both of them lost in a different matchup.
I just want to note the opening now. Ryung going for a fast command terror. 1 barracks expand, but CC before second depot, so he doesn't care if the drone comes in and sees it. He also steals some of the gold minerals, which I really like to see on this map. And he knows now that his opponent is taking gas. He knows Shine could go for aggression. The question is what type and when. He needs to be very careful and make sure that he is prepared. He's going to keep the SCV in here as long as possible, and he may even try to sneak back in after the queen's out, because there's a lot of space in the main. He might be able to go around the creep and see how much gas has been mined, or whether there's a Baneling Nest or a Roach Warren over there.
There is a Roach Warren by now, and we've seen so many crazy strategies on this map. We've seen Nidus networks, into the main, into the natural, at the front, just Roach attacks, Roach Baneling, all these different variations. And with how many harvesters we see here for Shine, this looks like he's just going for a normal Roach attack. We don't see him going into speed or anything like it. He will most likely get 9 to 10 Roaches and then just try to attack. Maybe even go up to 12, now just looking at it. He certainly will have the gas to pull that off.
Yeah, he's going to have 6 Overlords available as well, as soon as the Roach Warren is done. And yeah, with the extra gas from that Geyser at the backdoor expansion, I think he could go up to 12.
He needs the minerals, of course, too, but he's already waiting a little bit, and here we go, the first few Roaches are being built. Here's 11 additional drones, there we go, up to 9. Does he get more? Does he go up to 12? Here we have him at 10. He needs the minerals, of course. 11 Roaches. He really wants to put a lot of aggression on it.
Yeah, there's 12, and Ryung has to know something like this is coming. This is Icarus, after all, and he already scouted gas. So for him to not make a bunker right now blindly may cost him the game, and he is probably going to start it fairly soon.
I think he completed it. I'm pretty sure that he completed a bunker already.
You're actually correct.
Yeah.
My mistake.
The thing is that one bunker alone will most likely not going to help him. So there we have him with a scout. Nice, well played. He needs another bunker and he starts it immediately. His stim will not be ready, but he's working on it. He's also starting to get a few Marauders into the game. So this is Ryung with the information that he needed. Question is, can he push it back? I think the second bunker should be done in time.
Yeah, the second bunker will be done. The lair here is probably for Nidus follow-up, I feel. He's just going to get Roach speed and do a forward Nidus and continue the Roach attack. He could do something weird like going to Mutus, but hold that thought, as here come the Roaches. Double bunker here with SCVs preset to repair should be plenty enough, and Shine is now going to have to go for the backdoor expansion rocks.
That's exactly where he's going, and well, let's see if Ryung can stop this. So far he didn't place a single bunker down at the expansion. Now here we go. One, I feel that he should at least add another one.
Absolutely agree, he needs to. And he's actually going to make a reactor That's going to limit his Marine production quite significantly. He's actually just going to have to lift out of there, I feel.
He will have stim. And yes, it looks like he has to lift. There come the roaches, and he has to lift. He already starts building another bunker on the high ground. But stim is going to be ready very, very soon, and then he can push down with the Marauders. But let's not forget that Shine behind all of this is going for double upgrades, already has Lair, is going into speed, and is droning up.
He's losing a lot here, though. Ryung taking him out without even having to use stem. It's not quite finished yet. I'm surprised we don't see an ice swap. Looks like Shine really wants to go into a later game here.
I actually like it. This is one of the strategies where he's trying to put on pressure and then expands behind it. And Ryung doesn't really know what exactly is going on. This is very much what Terran players try to do in Heart of the Swarm right now. Trying to be aggressive, trying to put pressure onto the Zerg player and then just macroing up behind it. This is exactly the same style, it's just a reverse position. Even the third base is now coming up for Shine.
Yeah. This is intelligent. He's got his creep spread in both directions as well, so he can connect his third and also make sure he has vision of any incoming pushes. He does not have those rocks touched just yet, and he's going to keep the roach pressure on for now. He's not going to send them back home. Oh, Ryung misses the roaches, so he may feel false sense of security.
Well, he has the SCV there, and I really love how well he plays this. You know, he has SCVs everywhere on the map where it actually counts, and he knows kind of what's going on, so he scouts a little bit, and he has... It's like a warning system. It's like you have those tsunami warning systems everywhere, and this is like the same thing. If there's like a catastrophe about to happen, Ryung will know it and will be able to prepare to evacuate his SCVs, and that's exactly what we're going to see here once again. He can move back with them now, can lift once more, and actually just stim in with those Marauders and Marines if he wants to.
Yeah, he just did not stim very much at all there. I think he only stimmed 3 units. That's pretty cool to see. Such patience out of a player. Does not overcommit. Because if he stims his whole army and the roaches just get away and he kills only 1 roach, that's not worth it.
The problem is going to be for Ryung that if he does not decide to go into a third base, or at least build the command center, he needs to be aggressive. And the best time for this to do is when he has the medivacs out there and when he has the siege tanks.
Nice save on one of those roaches with the burrow. He could do it again. He's not. This is going to be a situation where Ryung is on a clock. If he doesn't take a third command center, he needs to do damage, like you said, to Shine's third. But Shine needs to buy time, so that's what these burrowed units are for. The burrowed Zergling here are going to give great vision. He's even got the Overseer coming to see how many bunkers there are. The roaches on the right side are always going to be available. He could always pop up at any moment and go for a counterattack to buy more time. He needs it for 2-2 to finish and to get the extra economy from that third base.
Here come the roaches again, and there's no siege tank set up. The siege mode is not done, and not only will he have to cancel the command center, but he's most likely going to lose a lot of the harvesters. This is really bad for Ryung here. Shine actually not forcing a cancel on the CC.
Yeah, no targeting there. But the roaches run away without being burrowed, so this makes him think that the rest of the roaches are not burrowed.
Did he see it? Yeah, that's the big question. He actually walked back with his entire army. I'm not quite sure if I agree with this decision. What Ryung did the entire time was build up a big army and then move out with it, but he is not getting aggressive, so catching up will definitely be very difficult with such a late third command center.
Yeah. This is play on this map from a Zerg player that we've almost not seen before, just going into a late game against a Terran player who has, I don't want to say he held the push with flying colors, but he definitely didn't take a ton of damage from it. And he's just using his burrow ability to try to out-multitask Ryung, force scans to be used. And this is really annoying.
Shine plays this really smart. Look at the upgrades. +2/+2, whereas we only now have the armory being built for Ryung. So he is far behind in the upgrades now. We have the infestation bit coming up. He just added a couple of additional harvesters to fully saturate his third base too. The question is, when will Shine attack? What kind of timing is he trying to use?
Yeah. Well, he looks like he wants the pressure right now. The depots are becoming a bit of a problem, though, and a great defense by Ryung so far, clearing up those roaches. The burrowed roaches, though, still remain, and this is going to prevent his wall a little bit longer. Finally, a turret. That is just so necessary after dealing with burrow this much. I'm a little bit surprised he waited that long to get it.
There comes the medivac again. Just dropped all the Marines to heal them to full health, and now they're being dropped onto the high ground once more, trying to target down those drones that are at the Spin Geyser. The thing is that what Ryung is trying to do now is trying to just turtle up, playing it safe, going into upgrades, trying to at least complete +2/+2, and then move out, claim a third base, and put pressure onto the Zerg. If Shine at this point can just continue his upgrade path, and therefore he would have to start Hive now, because he can. He has the +2/+2 upgrades, he also has the Infestation Pit, but if he can do that, then he will be ahead and can try to go for timing. He could also try to end it on Lair now.
Yeah, he could. I worry for Shine a little bit because Ryung's upgrades are starting to catch up. Not that he's going to be able to pass his opponent for a long time, but he continues to do this drop play, and Shine has, until now, had a feeling of map control because his Roaches were always pressuring Ryung, but now Ryung has the third base, and he is the one who's putting the pressure on. He's the one who's making Shine clean up drops and clean up attacks.
I'm actually a little bit surprised that we don't see the Planetary Fortress for Ryung here. He tries to go for another orbital, and with the sensor tower now, that makes a lot more sense, because therefore he will know when exactly Shine is going to attack. But yeah, you're right. Shine is starting to lose his momentum a little bit. He has a decent creep spread on the map. We have him with 3 bases going into a 4th. Also, the Hive Tech has been started. He's even droning it up a bit more. But Ryung is playing this quite well now, and he is catching up not only in upgrades, but he will probably even start +3/+3 a little bit faster than his Zerg opponent.
Yeah, +3/+3 definitely going to be accessible to him instantly, and now that the 2-2 is finishing up, and the Hive is not quite ready for Shine. We'll see how quickly Ryung hits this. Nice drone transfer here by Shine, but he's a little bit exposed right now. Will Ryung go for the attack? He's waited too long to kill the hatchery, I feel.
Yeah, but he puts on the aggression and he forces Shine to move back.
Well, you know what? He actually might get a cancel on this because the Zerg player went so late.
Oh my god, not even a cancel, he loses it.
That's resources lost, a lot of them, 300 in fact, plus the time now needed to rebuild the hatchery.
Exactly, you need to send another drone out.
This is very annoying, and Ryung continues to keep his drop over there. Spire's done, and what are we going to see? Most likely just Greater Spire started, no mutas, but I thought maybe we could see just 5 or so to clean up drops. It's a bit late for that, and he wants to use all of his gas on the Broods. Now goes into Corruptors.
We have +3 started now, +3 and +2, +3 armor and +2 attack for Shine, a little bit faster. Ryung completed his own set of upgrades but didn't start the next wave. So here comes the drop again, but now Shine is really trying to take the entire map. Not only the 4th base that we talked about, but another one in the bottom left of the map. So Ryung has to be kind of careful. He's already ahead in supply, so he can definitely move out and put on aggression, which I feel is exactly what he's going to do. But now we have a good creep spread, we have a lot of infestors, and we have Banelings that just now get the upgrade for speed.
Yeah. He's got a creep spread that's far, but not thick. This is going to make it very easy for Ryung to scan and clear up tumors. He needs good bundles. The siege tank count is insane. He has 10 siege tanks on the map right now. Without Broodlords, this engagement is just going to be almost impossible. Shining some excellent bundles though, continuing to hit almost all of the army.
There are no Banelings. This is like the most important issue. Without Banelings, you can't do a lot against this army composition. Roaches alone just don't cut it against 10 siege tanks. And what else is there? A few Zerglings and 5 infestors. That's not going to be enough. Shine is maxed out, but you have to keep in mind that this guy is currently... Where is his supply? That's like 60 Zerglings. 100 Zerglings now. Okay, there we go. But he doesn't have the Banelings just yet.
5 Broodlords on the way. +1 Error Carapace coming out. He only has 1 Spire so far.
3 starports.
Yeah, Ryung needs to switch into Vikings as soon as possible. He's really struggling to deal with these Roach Run buys. He's losing a lot of add-ons, a lot of Marines coming out of the barracks dying. Finally deals with it.
He's actually not completing those starports. All the SCVs have been killed, and that's going to be an issue. He needs to see that. If he doesn't see it, then his production will be so low in Vikings that he cannot possibly compete with the Broodlords. Now he sees it.
He has noticed, yeah. But it was a bit of a delay. And at this moment in time, Ryung has the 4th base to the top right, which he is in fact making into a planetary this time. This one is something he kind of has to do. It's way too far away to try to just rely on the sensor tower. He does see this whole army though.
Shine doesn't really have a bank, so it's going to be difficult for him to get all the upgrades out that he wants. He wants to go into Broodlords, and he would like to have a few Banelings soon. But here we go, and without enough Vikings, this is going to be tricky now.
Yeah, this is going to be very difficult indeed.
He finally has the starports that he needs, but can he get the Vikings out in time?
Well, He needs to buy a little bit more time. He is supply blocked right now, which is going to be problematic. He has 3 Vikings that only will have 5 in total.
These drops are going to be so good on the other hand.
Yes. And here they go to the bottom left. A little bit of action. He drops right beyond the spine crawlers.
It has a pretty high chance that he can take down the base.
Yeah. Especially with all the zombie
nice.
animation. And he gets the queens.
This was a little bit of a serve by Shine. He could have saved the queens, but now here come the transfuses, and this eliminates the Marines. They try to take down the queens, they transfuse each other, and then we have the Brood Lords taking care of the rest.
Yeah. Brood Lords really zoning here. Catches the Vikings with the fungal. More fungals coming in with the Banelings. There's a lot of Marauders and Siege Tanks at the top of that ramp, though. Shine has not... he's not attacking into the best location here.
Ryung is pushing him back, and he's still doing damage at the bottom left, but here we go. The fight starts once more with the Corruptors taking down Medivacs and also Vikings. The Viking production for Ryung is non-existent, he just doesn't have the minerals.
Yeah, and the Infestor count continues to be around for Shine. He has the better composition. He's hitting the fungals, he's killing the Vikings, and the Brood Lords take care of everything else. Ryung is in trouble, he could lose.
GG! Ryung loses the game, does some damage at the bottom left, but in the end it's just Shine who has too much momentum going for him. The big problem for Ryung, really, that he did have the production for the Vikings so late. His anti-air was never at a position where he could really take down those Brood Lords, and this was the biggest problem for him.
Yeah, and he could not produce the Vikings that he needed and handle the Infestors and the Brood Lords. I mean, obviously that's what the Vikings are for, but the Corruptors take control of the air, and he always has this puny amount of Vikings that's just not quite enough, and he doesn't have enough Marines because he has mostly, well, not mostly Marauders on the ground, but a heavy Marauder composition, so he could never get through his own choke point to get under the Brood Lords without getting fungaled. It was rough.
He tried to get the production up immediately when he saw that there's going to be a greater Spire and a Brood Lord tech, but then those SCVs are taking out the 3 additional starports, they don't finish in time. And then what exactly can he do? He's trying to rebuild them as fast as possible, but the small number of Vikings that he has can never compete with the Corruptors that are there. He has to fight, but he loses them, and therefore he always sacrifices a few pieces, but never really gets a return. Very tough situation for Ryung. Shine takes the win, and therefore we have Ryung now down 1 game, and Shine tied with Creator.
Yep, and it's time for Killer versus Center coming up next as our final game to kind of give everybody something on the scoreboard, our first 3 matches. What do you predict here? Because honestly, I would give a slight edge to Center based on recent results. He's been impressing me more than Killer, who has played some nice all-ins and done a lot of great coaching for MVP, but as a player on the individual level, I just am not as impressed. I feel like Killer is almost on his way down, or he's kind of doing this weird zigzag thing, whereas Center is on the way up.
I feel Killer is getting in much better shape now that he's on Team MVP. With Senna, I don't know how much he can practice these days, but he looked quite confident when we saw him earlier and talked to him. I feel this is a tough one to call. If Senna plays on the same level that he played in the last Code A season, then I can certainly see him take down Killer here, but it's definitely not going to be an easy match for him. If I would have to bet money on it, I would probably say that Senna takes it, but this should be a very, very close game. I really don't want to predict it.
Neo Planet S is going to be a rough map for Killer to play on if the game goes late, because his bases are so spread out. It's really easy for a Terran player to get a drop play like Center to start attacking his next eye. And the question becomes, what style is Killer going to do? Because I feel that Center is just going to do a basic 1-Rax expand into drop play and then the late game. That seems to be his style, but Killer is unpredictable. He might all-in you, he might hit a fast Colossus timing off 2 base, maybe even off 1 base, he feels like it. He's a hard player to prepare for, and if you have to play against him on 1 map, and 1 map only, you yourself might be thinking you want to be the one to take the first step to take gas, for example, early off 1 base to try to throw Killer's build off.
Killer is really cheeky, and he faces Senna in Senna's best matchup. This is the matchup where Senna actually won against Seed twice. On the other hand, Killer was able to take down Happy, which is also quite the accomplishment. So it's going to be an interesting match, as I already said. Like, this game is going to be so close, and we are playing on a little bit of a newer map now. We're playing on Casper Neo Planet S, so that one should make up for a really, really good match. And as you said, this is the last round of games, or the last game in the first round of matches. And we'll see who are the 3 players that get a lead in the group, and who are the 3 that have to struggle right from the beginning.
Yeah. That's what we're about to find out. The countdown is started. This is the final step, the final stage in transition period from Wings of Liberty into Heart of the Swarm. We have the Codas Finals, but that's not a transition. That just is a championship. This is where these players are going to start going into Heart of the Storm. Will it be Code? Will it be Codas? This is a new game, a new expansion. The map is loaded. This is the GSL up and downs, casted by Cameron.